waving a gun, screaming, they are trying to kill me. What's going on? Why is Dave Chappelle going after? A weak person cannot get to sit here and talk to you. Ain't no weak people talking to you. So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. The worst thing to call somebody is crazy, is dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bullshit. These people are not crazy. They're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick.
How are these people able to keep going on with the career?
What do you mean?
Doing these heinous crimes.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm just saying.
You ain't never had a boy that you know did a whole bunch of dirt and you let him make it? You telling me that never happened? You never had somebody in your life who you know was dirty, who you know did dirt, and you let him make it?
I see what you're saying, but
think about that on a corporate level.
Right.
All right.
You know, while everybody on social media is running around gallivanting as chosen ones, and you see all these people displaying their pride and arrogance, and you see all these people with a superiority complex. There's a real situation going on in the underbelly of American society. And it somewhat happens globally, but in the heart of America is real prevalent in this time. And I'm talking about gang stalking. I'm talking about organized mobbing. I really want to get into this because while you have a lot of fakes, phonies, deceivers, liars, and just people who are just prideful, acting as if they're chosen, there's real chosen people who happen to be targeted. Now, a chosen one and a targeted individual is one of the same, because there's not a lot of people who bear the mark or bear the seal of the Most High. But the ones who do are under close scrutiny and observation. See, targeted individuals are people who have A, been a whistleblower of some sort. B, has social, political, or religious differences than the mass majority. C, are born with a certain bloodline that comes from a lineage that can be traced. Yeah, because you know they draw blood when you're born, right? Some of you all are in royal bloodlines, literally. Your ancestors were kings, queens, and so forth. Some of you all were actually born into royal families that caused problems for the Roman Empire. And this is why you have Red Cross Blue Shield. This is why in the hospitals they're so fixated in taking your children's blood and things of that nature. See, there's real lists. There's real government files. There's real agencies that watch people. And some of you brothers and sisters are targeted individuals because of some of the things that I've listed. Not only that, some of you all broke the mold of the program, meaning during the 12 grades of learning, there was a dossier being generated on each and every one of us. And some of us were a lot more brighter than others in ways which the government or these agencies or the powers that be cannot contain. Some of you all were brilliant. And since the 12 grades of learning, they tried to get you into all kind of programs, all kind of systems. And it was only to kind of get a hold of your life and where they can mold and steer you in certain directions. It would be friends, family, colleagues, associates, teachers, guidance counselors. Certain people would try to kind of navigate your walk to keep you in the system in fear that you start to be a revolutionary, and in fear that you would influence others to think like you and think outside of the social confines of this matrix system, right? And so there are some people who have been targeted in society. This is a fact. And what you brothers and sisters got to understand, all you who have been targeted, there's certain things that you may see in life taking place that are bizarre to you, to the point where you may not know how to actually speak it to others. You may not know how to really talk about what you're going through, because people will slap a label on you as crazy. When you know there's certain iniquities going on in your life, you know there's certain people watching. And the truth of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, when you've been targeted or placed on one of these lists, you're being watched by thousands of people. Like literally thousands of people are watching all the time. I mean, they're studying your social media. They're studying everything about you. And you won't know that they're watching until you make a wave. A perfect example would be pain of destroying all of the liars who have taken the chosen one's talking point from myself in order for selfish gain, in order to make money and things of that nature. Now, a lot of these people responded immediately. People who was watching all along, but they didn't have nothing to say until they were called out. But they were always watching, they were always studying, they were always researching, and that's what they do. They play the cut. See, targeted individuals are actually a lot of innovators and pioneers of a lot that we see in American culture. And the idea is to basically weed these people out of society while extracting as much as they can from that person. See, ladies and gentlemen, gang stalking is really just a social experiment. It's all about experimentation. Some of you all may notice that when you come out of your home, there's somebody else coming out watching. There may be neighborhood watch following you. You may be in the grocery stores and you can physically see, like, yo, why are these people following me around? Like, what is going on? You may see people taking cell phones out, snapping pictures. Like, these things really exist. And I gotta bring this to the forefront, because while everybody thinking they chosen ones are so brilliant and so great, and all these people who are not going through a motherfucking thing in life, which makes it even more sickening to me, because these people are not going through these things because they're just like the majority of the world, trying to line their pockets, trying to, act a certain way, thinking that they're holier than thou, prideful, arrogant, everything that's against what a real chosen one would be. And they're really not going through anything. See, you can't take the label of a quote-unquote chosen one and you don't even understand the persecution that really comes with it. You don't understand the close observation and scrutiny that comes with that. Because a targeted individual is one who actually has the ability to reach people in a positive way, and that is a threat to the establishment. That's a threat to the establishment. And these people really do play a lot of games, man. They close a lot of doors of opportunities for real people who really bear a light. You know, people are finding it difficult to find places to live. You know, their credit gets messed with all the time. You know, we're talking about people who get their social medias hacked all the time. We're talking about people who get scam calls 24/7, bro. We're talking about people who get their personal space invaded by, the rental offices and just weird things where the maintenance people are entering your home while you're not there, or you're unaware they're going to show up. Like, these kind of things happen to real chosen ones because they're constantly being watched. But at the same time, it's one of those situations where the Most High doesn't want us to be comfortable in a society like this. We're too great to be comfortable in a wicked, morally rotten, decrepit, sick world. And so It's being used to chastise us. It's being used to try us like go through the furnace. We're being tried by fire. And it's because the Most High don't want us to be comfortable in these situations. He wants us to have our own. He wants us to have our own land, our own grocery stores, our own businesses, our own homes that we build from the ground up, our own food, our own environment, our own police force. Like the Lord wants that for us. But we have to be in such a place of discomfort that we start breaking the chains of our mind and actually walking towards that, leaning towards self-sufficiency. Because when you think about it, when you target it, all the things I just listed is what they attack. Literally, they attack the food. Some of us get poisoned. You know, they attack noise campaign. They attack the actual the food. They attack our living arrangements, our living situations. They attack everything. They do everything they can in their power to make us uncomfortable, but we got to lean into that. We're not supposed to be comfortable. We're not supposed to be comfortable. You know, people who have been targeted got to experience helicopters flying over their homes at a very low place, you know, disturbing their peace. I mean, these things are real. There is actual documents on these things that you can read up on. There's former CIA agents that talk about these programs that people are placed on. You know? So meanwhile, while everybody's running around talking about their chosen ones, and they're really not, they can't speak on what I'm talking about right now. They cannot put into words what I'm describing to them. Where you feel like all eyes is on you. And not in a way in which everybody is just gravitating towards you because of your magnetism, because you're so great, because there's a light in you. No. There's hate that goes on. And you are a threat to the establishment, to the system. And they do a lot of things, man. And a lot of people are battling. We're living in a prison planet. We're living in a planet where you're not supposed to have freedom of thought. You're not supposed to think outside of the box. You are supposed to be like the rest of the sheeple and believe everything that you hear. And these people who claiming to be chosen ones, they're not going through these things. They haven't been put on these lists. They haven't been stalked. They haven't had smear campaigns placed against them. They haven't had their own family members actually betray them and put them on certain lists. They haven't had people try to get them committed. You understand? Because what I'm saying right now is factual, but to the average Joe that's listening, yo, that sounds kind of like paranoia. You know, you sure that's not schizophrenia? No, it's actually real. You're living in a world that is similar to the Matrix. There's a lot of Agent Smiths. And I need you to understand how spiritual this is. It's a simulation. It really is. When I talk about the skinwalkers and the meat suits and all of these individuals, some of these entities don't even have control over their own vessel. They do things that's just out of pocket and they have no control on it. They don't even know that they're part of Satan's system and they're being manipulated by the puppet master to do the things they do. They don't even understand. And there was one content creator that I called out. And this content creator that I called out just reacted to his content. He said he's going to go run to Google. He's going to go run to Google. That's what he said he was going to do. He's going to run to Google. He's going to report my channel on YouTube, then made a community post telling all of his subscribers to go report my channel to YouTube falsely, claiming I cyberbullied him, and all I did was react to his content, doing commentary and criticism. Now, ladies and gentlemen, In what world can people let that fly? In what world do people applaud that kind of behavior unless the mass majority of people are agents out here? What world is that okay where people like, yo, yeah, that flies, even though that brother didn't threaten you, that brother didn't threaten you with any bodily harm? That means there's a lot of people who are working for these agencies. There's a lot of NPCs. There's a lot of wicked, deceitful people. There's a lot of people who are more attached to the matrix and the system and the program than the actual God of all gods. So it's literally good versus evil, and there's a lot more evil out there than good.
Everybody who believes they need a piece of paper to substantiate, validate your sovereign status, you're a mental slave. I'm gonna let that sink in while I light my blunt. Anybody who believes that you need a piece of paper to validate your sovereign status is a mental slave. Not only is you a mental slave, you've been deceived by the enemy. You was born sovereign. Your blood quantum determines your level of understanding your status as a sovereign. You don't need no fucking paperwork. We've been doing the oral tradition long before the motherfuckers ever came over here, but y'all don't remember that shit. Right now, the sisterhood is displaced. The hierarchy of the spirit is undermined on the physical earth by patriarchal idiots. Drag queens is running this bitch. Homosexual pedophile cults, and y'all want to tear me down for speaking up and trying to get the great mother put back on her seat so we can get our shit back in proper order. And you motherfuckers ain't ready to put the house back in order. Y'all motherfuckers want to stay slaves. Don't even know you a slave, but you will argue me down that you not a slave, but you do all of the dumb shit that you would if you was. I bet your ass won't be late for work. I walked off my job 5 years ago and ain't looked back. Fuck them motherfuckers. I don't need them. I can live off the fat of the land. I can live off the fat of the land. I can feed me and my family off the fat of the land. I know how to get it from the dirt. My chief said we brain banging, we ain't gang banging. So welcome to Brain Bang University, motherfuckers. I'm the motherfucking dean of the university, and I'm gonna brain bang your ass into submission, because when this shit all said and done, you motherfuckers is gonna be saying, I thought that nigga ain't know what he was talking about. Man, that Project Evergreen was a human trafficking network, but y'all don't know nothing about that because y'all assume that everything that we tell y'all is a conspiracy theory and some made up ass shit, and we telling y'all who doing the dirt. We showing y'all who doing the dirt. Hillary Clinton's CIA code name is Evergreen because she was put over Project Evergreen, which is a human trafficking network with their fingers in every motherfucking third world country, siphoning babies back to Europe and America for these so-called elites to have their motherfucking pedophilic ways with. But y'all want to accuse all of the motherfuckers that's trying to drag them motherfuckers out with the shit that they doing. Half these motherfuckers part of the FBI's snitch program and don't even fucking know they snitching. Traitor ass motherfuckers. Half these motherfuckers is infiltrators for COINTELPRO, and they too stupid to know they being used by the system to infiltrate their own goddamn plans and to bring their own shit to their ground. Y'all motherfuckers better wake up. They motherfucking MO has not changed in 500 years of this shit. And if the MO haven't changed in 500 years and you niggas ain't caught on, maybe you niggas do need to be on this motherfucking tight end of a real short rope over a real high bridge. Maybe that's what you need. Maybe we need to let them motherfuckers come back and start motherfucking free-falling motherfuckers off cliffs and shit. Because y'all in the way of yourself. You ain't in my way because you ain't gonna stop me. This nigga, I don't give a fuck. My mama prepared me for all of the naysayers. She prepared me for all of the backbiters. She prepared me for all of the haters. She prepared me for all of the traitors. The ones who profess to be family but do enemy shit. The one that come in the name of a friend to stab you in the back. I see them all coming. That's why they stick me in the cave. So I don't got to deal with them motherfuckers because I know who they all is. Right? And since I know who they all is, it's only a handful of motherfuckers I'm going to work with because I know who that handful is. They all battle tested. Y'all want to ride with motherfuckers that ain't battle tested. That ain't never had to run up against none of this shit. Right? I walked through the belly of the beast. I sat and looked in the eyes of serial killers and homicidal maniacs, and them motherfuckers couldn't understand why everybody else looked in their eyes had fear. I ain't got none of that shit. Cause I'll be a serial killer's serial killer. Call me motherfucking, what's that motherfucking name? The serial killer that kills serial killers? Whatever the fuck his name is. Y'all not gonna stop the rise of the matriarchy. It's gonna come into full fruition. The niggas don't want you, and they don't want you to go where you want it. That equals isolation. So I'm isolated. Because the motherfuckers that want me, the niggas don't want me around them, and the niggas can't stand me because I'm telling them what's right. The worst thing you can tell a motherfucker is the fucking truth. That's the worst thing you can tell them. They will hate you more for telling the truth than for if you string a whole string of lies together. They on some Rihanna shit. They love the way you lie. Nigga, I don't got time for that. My daddy say a man moves straight. He don't move fall funny and shit. So I'm coming straight at you motherfuckers. I ain't running, I ain't ducking, I ain't hiding and have not been. I've been in the same place damn near every day for the last 5 years, spitting out the keys to the goddamn kingdom to everybody that want to be free, and I keep hitting hit upside. You got to engage the mental dialogue within the self if you want to call yourself a thinker. You got to try to look at the problem from a higher perspective if you call yourself a thinker. I'll brain bang the bejesus out you motherfuckers, but there's one problem. I'm not trying to prove nothing to nobody. I have never been one. I will give a fuck what you believe or what you think. You got the right. Your right to believe bullshit is absolute. Just like I got the right to follow and believe in the truth, and that shit is absolute. Just like vodka. This shit is absolute. You got a right to believe any bullshit you want to believe. You got that right. You got a right to accept all of the bullshit they put on your plate for dinner. And you got a right to eat that shit. I got a right to not give a fuck. I got a right to stay in my lane. I got a right to not be swerving on the road. I'm exercising that shit. I'm telling it like it is. Motherfuckers don't like it. Not because it's not the truth. They hate it more because it's the truth. But they hate it more than that because I'm the one telling them. Yo, this wasn't no localized shit, but this is the motherfucking ground zero of the redemption. Y'all don't want to be redeemed. Y'all don't want to be free because you're too busy tearing down everybody that was sent to liberate your motherfucking ass. You took sides with the enemy. That's called being a traitor. And most of y'all don't even know y'all was doing traitor ass shit in the name of motherfucking Jesus. Never knowing that Jesus is ISIS. Right? And they changed the name in order for you to be deceived about who they talking about. They told you that when this motherfucker was born, his name was Emmanuel, which means God is with us. Right? But they never called him that shit by his name again. Because the mama was the one in charge. The son was just following her lead. Trading with the motherfucking enemy. Still gonna get the money, motherfucker, and you can't stop it. And I'm not motherfucking trading with the enemy because you the goddamn enemy. But we all in business and commerce with the goddamn devil on the land. We look the devil in his face, and instead of shoot that motherfucker, we kiss him on his goddamn ass. Y'all motherfuckers is something else. Something else. You gotta wake up. Y'all gotta snap out of the slumber. Y'all gotta see who is really fighting for you and who is on a bunch of bullshit. Go let them old ladies hear what we talking about. They hear you from an ancestral hearing. They don't hear you from a mortal, regular, day-to-day, three-dimensional slave hearing. Old ladies, for a reason. They got old because they went through some shit. You can't get old and don't go through some shit. And it refined their hearing. So when they hear Big Mama voice, they know who that is. I don't have to tell them. Whoever the fuck them motherfuckers be, because I'm going to be part of the majority. I'm going to be part of the collective who want a free earth. Right? I'm going to be part of the ones that ain't scared to tell dad, mama said we can't eat that, it's not healthy for us. Them the ones of us we going to be. Well, what you mean your mama said it ain't healthy? Then we going to tell him why it ain't healthy. Shit, we ain't supposed to eat that shit. Feces is not for food. It's already been digested. Why would you eat that shit again? Make fertilizer out of it and grow fruit from it. But half these motherfuckers want to wallow in the shit, bathe in the shit, wipe it on their face, and then tell you, you look like shit. Give me 50 sisters, nigga, and I'll shut this bitch down. I'll show you how this shit supposed to work. I done already proved it. Curtis Jackson, Unbreakable Conjure. At the close of the age, the only conjure you can use is a conjure to restore balance. The Curtis Jackson Unbreakable Conjure, which is a 50-cent conjure, which is a 50 flip to 100% off 50 kings, flip 50 queens. I'm just a motherfucker in the middle, flipping the flips. Monkey in the motherfucking middle grew up to be a goddamn gorilla with the gorilla grip on the goddamn North Gate. War. Nigga, my ears popped up. I'm ready for some war shit. They say, yeah, but this ain't no regular conventional war. What the fuck you mean? What kind of war is it? Say it's a war of self-educated knowledge. Oh, nigga, that shit easy. I've been reading books for years. Yeah, that's why you've been reading them. Keep studying until we let you know when it's time. The ancestors will call you when it's time. Ain't none of these motherfuckers get the knock from Cyclone Marcus. And Garvey told us he was coming back in the whirlwind. And when he come back, he's coming back with the thousands and millions of ancestors that preceded us and suffered at the affliction of this goddamn enemy. But I heard the call. That's a Blue House knock on the whirlwind. Y'all trying to produce motherfuckers that know how to shoot. Growth and development is trying to get a motherfucker to grow and develop into some motherfuckers that can think. Noble Drew Ali said, if I can get you niggas to think, you can save yourself. Elijah Muhammad said, accept your own and be yourself if you want to be free. Why is all these motherfuckers telling us this shit and we ain't paying attention? But then they say Big Rod don't know what he talking about. Chief Pontiac crazy. That nigga ain't no chief. Internet chief. Fuck all them niggas. I wouldn't give a fuck if I'm the only one telling the truth as long as I'm in the position to right and I got the right by blood and by right. And as long as I'm in that position, I'm going to tell the goddamn truth to increase my power. And the more I tell the truth, the more I shame the devil, the more his ass cower down until you motherfuckers realize what this brain banging shit is all about. We gorilla knocking all across the land and you motherfuckers can't hear it because y'all spiritually deaf to your own culture. This nigga showing y'all shit, but y'all thinking they the enemy because they not doing it from your perspective. Everybody got to fight this war different. You just need a motherfucker that can see from everybody's perspective. You can only see from yours. The Nuwabian can only see what Malachi taught. The fruit can only listen to Elijah, Farrakhan, or Silas. They don't hear nobody else. The 5% don't want to hear no shit that if it ain't, you know, some 5% build destroy type shit. Right? You can't tell a GD shit about a vice lord. And you can't tell a vice lord shit about a GD. They don't want to hear it. We in this shit together. You can't it's hard to talk to a blood and tell him that you fighting the Crip, but they ain't the enemy. They was just here to wake your ass up because y'all got the same fucking enemy, the policy enforcers. The Bloods and the Crips was created in the midst of motherfucking extreme police brutality and motherfucking mass police murder of the innocents. But y'all don't follow y'all culture, so you'll never know. You'll never know. You just think we out here just to be gangbanging. You think motherfuckers out here selling dope because they don't want a job. Nigga, selling dope is a full-time goddamn job. It requires you to have calculation skills. You need to know how to bag that shit up, mix that shit, cut that shit, rock it back up, break it down, bag it up, distribute it on the land, let the people go out. Nigga, that's a fucking job. It's a fucking job. It's just not a job that's taxable. That's where the problem come in. They got all you motherfuckers think if they can't tax it, it's illegal or immoral. But they doing the same shit. They telling you that selling drugs is illegal and immoral, but they selling it by the ton to you. This all government orchestrated. Iran-Contra proved to be beyond dollar contradiction. A gun trade. Iran-Contra proves that as well. Dope Inc. tell you how the government is involved. It's a book reference. Dope Inc. is the book reference. And Dope Inc. tell you how they was distributing drugs in the community using the motherfucking government agencies. Behold a Pale Horse told you about George Herbert Walker Bush owning oil tankers that wasn't privy to search for him to flood motherfucking South Central with all of that motherfucking cocaine. Right? They flooded New York. They flooded Chicago. They flooded Detroit. And then our people so fucking ignorant that if anybody was benefiting from it that wasn't the government, they wanted to turn them in. They wanted to sell them out. Give them to them. Let them deal with him. That's their problem. And this motherfucker doing more for the community as a drug dealer than the motherfucking government ever done for us. Government ain't never did shit over here. Look, they take your motherfucking tax money to finance wars all over the world, but they won't even fix the goddamn street that you got to go down to get to work. Now you got to spend 4 times as much on a car that's being towed up by raggedy ass roads than you do about a motherfucking, they done sent all the money over there and fixed all their shit. They gave it to them to facilitate the reconstitution of infrastructure. Why they not spending money over here? All you smart motherfuckers, why they don't spend money over here? They was never intending to spend money over here. They was only intending to siphon your resources and send them over there. So what do? They put a motherfucker in office and call him the commander-in-chief of the armed forces to enforce the military jurisdiction of the admiralty law and dictate to the president of the motherfucking Congress, the Senate, what they gonna do, and that's the true head of state. And y'all motherfuckers don't know the difference in the two. When the true head of state is corrupt, then the motherfucking commander-in-chief of the armed forces has to go into a motherfucking military lockdown of governmental resources. And this is why the government is running out of money. Because Donald J. shut that shit down in 2017. So we gonna let Donald J. tell y'all who's who on the planet Earth. Since y'all don't want to listen to the motherfuckers that was born Mississippi walking clay dirt, y'all don't want to listen to them. We can let the motherfuckers that came and give us aid and assistance because they had the same fucking enemy we did. Them niggas, they call themselves the white man. Them niggas, they call themselves the goddamn white man. We call them dirty Moors because they look like us, but they ain't us. They move in our community, and look at the audacity of these motherfuckers, because they'll stay down with us to hold us down rather than see us come up. That's not how we did. The tribes over here has never been that way before the invader came. Go back and research pre-motherfucking Columbian history. We lived in motherfucking communities to ourselves, but we went into the cities to do business and commerce and communicate. But y'all think the city is the place that we supposed to live. You ain't supposed to live in that environment for no 75 years. That's a death sentence. The humdrum. This is why our lifespans is so short, because we staying stuck in the inner city. We supposed to get out in the country, breathe the motherfucking fresh air, walk with the animals, harvest from the land, become one with the economy of the land. Fuck the economy of the government. That's not our economy. Our economy comes from the earth. Our economy, our wealth comes from the earth. Mineral wealth comes from the earth. Oil wealth comes from the earth. Food wealth comes from the earth. You can even get fucking electricity from the earth. But no, they got you believing that everything got to come through the government by way of fiat currency that don't even have value, and your ability to use it is slowly deteriorating because of some shit called inflation, fractional reserve banking. It's unconventional guerrilla warfare. Only reason I know because I study guerrilla warfare, because I'm a guerrilla warfare specialist. Look. They build dams in order to create mudslides. Then they blow the dam and tell you that the floods were so overwhelming. That's just all you gotta do is wait for a rainy day and do like they did with Hurricane Katrina and blow the levees under the pretense of the storm, and the motherfucker not gonna be none the wiser. I don't care nothing about them people that heard the explosions in the mushroom clouds from the explosion and watch these motherfuckers blow the levees. And we not gonna believe none of the motherfuckers that was part of the blowing the levee campaign, and they was all done by motherfuckers working for Army Corps engineers. They gave the intel to the CIA, who in turn hired motherfucking foreign agents to come in and blow the goddamn levees so they can get you niggas out of motherfucking the NO. They not gonna never motherfucking flood y'all out of the NO. You can do what you want. You can blow that motherfucker up. Niggas gonna pop back up in New Orleans. New Orleans was supposed to be the capital of all of the land because that's where we all went to go get trained on how to have the right etiquette when we go to the other parts of the land. And the intake was the motherfucking mouth of the Mississippi. We didn't bring immigrants in New York until after the invasion. Fuck that bullshit. The only reason why I go to work is to pay these goddamn bills I'm not supposed to have. See, utilities is a responsibility of a functional government. It's not an individual responsibility because the cost is supposed to be more than the individual should have to put out of his labor earnings. Your labor earnings is to support the lifestyle that's different that you want to live. Some people don't want to live in the city, and they have different ways of living on the land, but because y'all like the way shit running and y'all get uncomfortable with the idea of change, y'all want to rebel against the shit that's right in order to enforce the bullshit. Keep these motherfuckers in power if y'all want to. They won't be in power on my watch, though. Because I'm going to keep motherfucking telling the truth from the position of right all goddamn day long, slapping them motherfuckers upside their head. Or when they replace us with somebody that look different. Now, we don't care about that shit for real. What we really care about is our spiritual connection to our ancestors and to the earth. These are key components of the culture that we spiritually know is a direct link to our ancestry and to the earth. When you try to sever that tie, it's like trying to cut a baby's umbilical cord in front of a fucking doula. Nigga, don't do that shit. That woman gonna have all kind of postpartum depression, and the baby gonna grow up thinking that motherfucker in the subconscious, that's not his mama. Cutting that baby umbilical cord. We don't do that. We either gonna do a lotus birth or we gonna cut it after it releases from the uterine walls. A real doula know that shit. So it is obvious that the real enemy ain't got nothing to do with skin color. Because if it did, we'd have been came up. We'd have been came up. But every time one of us start coming out from under the oppression, one of us kill them. Sabotage them. Falsely accuse them and trump some shit up. Oh man, in the 80s, in the 70s, late 70s, in the early 80s, when the welfare system was telling the mother to get away from the fathers of the children, that all they had to do was accuse them of touching the children, because the allegation is the only evidence you need in order to strip that father of his parental rights, that fucked us up bad. Because now, if you want to get rid of a motherfucker, all you got to do is give him a sex case. Because you don't need no evidence. The allegation alone is sufficient evidence to convict you of a sex case. Then when they start getting the pale face with some shit called date rape, which I call buyer's regret, she didn't like it, so she decided to call rape on them. Right? When they start getting pale face, I said, nigga, don't stand a chance. Girls do parthenogenesis. If they really was at war with the men. The women ain't at war with. It's a bunch of drag queens that's at war with the women, and they got us stuck in the middle of that shit. With their gay agendas, Babylonian sex magic. That's what all that shit is. I keep telling y'all, go back to the captivity of the Jews. Who was they captives to? Babylon. And when they came out of Babylon, what did they have that they didn't have going in? The Talmud and the Mishnah. And what is it laced with? Pedophilia, money magic, and motherfucking money magic, sex magic, and Babylonian money magic, Babylonian sex magic, and Babylonian blood magic. It's actually to control a superior intellectual people using spiritual manipulation of their energies. And it's the law of the scapegoat. It's the law of the sacrifice. So the guilty was able to shed the blood of the innocent and be forgiven for the dirt they did. Not on this watch. That's what the Babylonian blood magic is all about. They're not just using the adrenochrome. The blood of the innocent, what they call the blood of the sacrifice of the saints. Because everybody know what they're going into before they come here. No matter how old they is when they die, they knew what they was coming into before they came. It's the game of the gods. Some of us want to experience misery to a high degree, so we put ourselves in the pauper god place at the bottom of the social structure. And we able to stay there because we the strongest, so we end up suffering the longest and